Hi there and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about how I store my ink pads. Now, I don't have a fancy craft room. Getting one of those ink storage stands doesn't really work for me because I don't really have the surface space for it, but I do have drawers, which is great. And I like using my drawers. I like that my drawers are next to me while I craft. So I'm in the process of trying to acquire all of the Distress Oxide inks, but I want to fit more in my drawers with being able to see all of the tops. So you can see here I do have some dye inks. I've got some pigment inks, and sorry about the mess there. I just got some new products and I haven't quite put them away yet. So here are my Distress Oxides. And what I have done is I created, and I don't know what to call them, drawer organizers, not an easel, a mount, but like display inserts for my drawers to keep my Distress Oxides inks up. And here you see I've got some new inks that came in, and so I need to create some more of those, I guess you could call them mounts. And all I did was use basic cardstock, some scoring, some gluing, and poof. I can fit 6 more pads in my drawers, and all of them are sitting upright so I can see their names, I can see what color they are, and it's just a really fantastic way to store my inks, and I just really want to share that with everyone, and it basically cost me nothing. So in this stand altogether I can get 5 of these mounts, I guess we'll call them for now, and I'm still able to store 3 ink pads in the back. So let's get started here. We're just going to take some basic cardstock. I'm using a heavyweight. It's around 300 GSM. I have used, I think it was a 277 GSM on a couple of them, but so just a heavyweight cardstock is really all you need. Now I'm going to cut at 4.5 inches. And I'm going to be able to cut 2 of these pieces out of 1 sheet of cardstock. So again, 4.5 inches. That'll give you 2 mounts. And then once we're done cutting these up, we'll take it to the scoreboard and give it a good score so we would know where to bend it. So this is my large scoreboard. Of course, use whatever scoreboard you need or whatever folding you need. So what I did is I scored here at 1.5 inches, and because my cardstock is so heavy, you're going to see me going over this a lot because again, this is a heavy cardstock. Now I'm going to score again at 3 inches. So every 1.5 inches you're going to do 2 score lines, and then I'm going to score here at 4.25. So only 1.25 inch over from the 3 inches. And this is going to give me that little lip I need in order to glue it together. So again, basic, fold it on your score lines. Use your bone folder. Again, mine's really heavyweight cardstock, so I do need to use my bone folder to really press that down. You can see me kind of really working that last lip piece here. And you can use whatever glue you like. I use some double-sided tape. It's pretty strong stuff, especially once you press it down. It will come apart if it's not pressed down, but once you press it down, it's pretty strong. So again, I'm just going to fast forward through this. Again, put it together. I take my bone folder here and push it down. You can use hot glue or whatever strong adhesive that you may have. And so you can see here there's a lip. Now what I use this lip for is that's always going to go on the bottom and towards the back of the drawer, and that's just my guide to make sure I've got the same angle every time. So I really kind of just eyeballed this one here in this drawer, so I'm just going to do a quick measurement, and it's about approximately 2 centimeters here, 3/4 of an inch, somewhere in that range, whatever room you need. I just need enough room that my pad doesn't stand up and interfere with the drawer closing, but that it got enough room for my blenders on the back of my pads because that's where I like to keep them. So I'm just using a dry erase marker here just to do a quick mark of approximately where I want to put my little display mounts. And again, I'm just going to find that lip so I make sure that I set it down in the right spot in my drawer. I'm using hot glue. One of the reasons I'm using hot glue, one reason is I can actually pull these off, and I have done that when I've secured it wrong and just removed some of that hot glue, and it doesn't damage my drawers, it doesn't make a huge mess, and it's just easy cleanup if I need to remove these, not a problem. So just gluing this down, you want to hold it for a few seconds until that glue cools. And then there you go. Easy peasy. My oxide inks are sitting up and no problems there. And then again, you can see my blenders on the back. That's where I like to keep them. Now what I've done is I've actually pulled those blenders off and put them higher up on the pad so it sits a little better. Excuse me. Now what you can also do is you can also score and cut these sheets smaller just to make your mount or your insert, whatever we want to call them, a little bit shorter in order to give you that room for your blenders. Or again, you can make them shorter just to change the angle at which the ink pads sit on. And again, you want to make sure you've got enough clearance for those ink pads to clear that top drawer. So here it is, 5 inserts. I've got some room in the back where I can put some extra ink pads, and I usually put the ink pads I don't use too often kind of stuck in the back there. And here you go. Easy peasy. Cost me no money at all. It gave me more room in my drawers, and I can see all of my Distress Oxides on the front. Now I just need to worry about those little ink cubes. Thanks for joining me, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know how you store your ink pads.